What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Here's the Scenario podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Mike Feeney, being joined with me, as always,
by Mike Cannon, and also
Brendan Sagalow. How is everybody? I feel good.
great. This
you
just
have a little cold sore on your
I
lip.
know I have a pimpy.
this just broke right off the top. So while
Oh my God, what happened?
while I hold
Feeney-
the mic like this for the entire episode, just want to let you guys know, don't block the camera. This is a hypothetical-based podcast where we answer your what-if scenarios, anything you want. You send it to us on Instagram or go to here'sascenario.com. That's where you can find all of our links, all that stuff. Send it to us in a DM. We'll get to it on the show. And if you're enjoying the show, which we know you will be, you can go to our Patreon, patreon.com/scenariopod, where we do a bonus ep every single week. We do another bonus ep that's more loose and outside of the format. There's a bonus episode of Snarky that comes out, the little solo pod that I do. There's Mike Takes Edibles goes up there early. There's a whole new web series that's coming out of Mike
I'll
that is going to
fight
be up
you
there.
with Mike Cannon, where I break down fight film with my expertise.
Brendan's putting up his hip hops.
Hip Hop's and weight loss blog. I'm
And
putting
weight loss
it up
blog.
a week early.
And that's going up there. So again, you can get on the Patreon for $5 a month. It's crazy. But for right now, let us win you over with this little free app for you. A little tasty num num num.
Yeah. The little free crack we give you
Yes, to get you totally hooked.
before we sell you the fake shit.
Oh man, have you ever done that? You haven't. You have. Where something
Crack?
like
I haven't.
not crack, but Coke. Where
I've
they're
never-
just like, you want a little taste, like have a taste, obviously. And I'm like, yeah, and you do it, and you're like, this is Tony Montana stuff. Like, Montana. I'm so out of my face. This is great. And then they're like, cool, you want it? And I'm like, I'll pay anything. And they're like, great. And then they just switch pockets.
Yeah.
And they give you Splenda.
Con men, dude. Yeah, they give you Splenda or like a full bar of soap, and they're like, "This is all Coke, man."
Full bar of them. Still has the ivory imprint on
Yeah.
top. And Brendan's like, pretty cool.
Yeah. Why is this bar orange? And you're like, it's style. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have so many to get to, which is great because we're going to record a couple episodes today. So we're getting to them. So thank you, everybody. Oh no, I gotta scroll, and here we go. The first question today comes from somebody.
Enjoy the
I
silence,
lost
man.
it.
Sit in it.
Okay.
You feel that?
I mean, we have an editor. They can take it out.
I don't want to do that.
From Mr. David G. Thank you very much, Dave, for sending this in. It's a long one. Buckle in. Pay attention. Here's a scenario. You lose your eyes in a knife fight. You're taken to the hospital where they tell you there's nothing they can do to restore your sight at all. And then a mischievous genie masquerading as a doctor poofs into your room and tells you that he can restore your sight, but gives 4 conditions, which is a lot for a genie. Number 1, the eyes must be of an animal. 2, the animal cannot be a mammal. 3, your eyesight will not be altered at all regardless of what your eyes choose. AKA you will have the same vision and vision restrictions as before the knife fight. And you cannot undo this due to it being magic. And so what animal's eyes do you choose? I know right away. Even though, now I'm torn. I was going to say eagle eyes because they can see like a fucking mile
Amazing.
away. So
Yeah.
they have great eyes. But it just says your eyes won't be altered in any way. So if that's the case, I'm going with fucking horse eyes, dudes. I want big fucking beautiful horse eyes. And
No,
then I'll
you
just
don't.
be, yeah, dude.
No, you would look like a fetal alcohol syndrome maniac with just 2
Giant
bulbous,
eyes.
giant black eyes under your furrowed brow.
It'd be great.
I think we can.
Look at that.
That
It's
would be
beautiful.
terrifying.
No, it's
You would look like a
beautiful.
fucking alien.
It's beautiful from that, but it's all brown, dude. You'd look like straight out of a horror film.
But I'll get a lot of work because I'll be like, I'll have the Steve Buscemi effect
Do
where they
you
go, what the
also-
fuck is going on there?
I'm just going to assume that any animal eye that we pick is not going to look good.
Of course they will.
Well, all of them, I mean, here's the thing. They're still being encased in your shroud of hot dogs surrounding your eyeball. So that, I think any eye is kind of just going to be hidden by your face.
No, but yeah, well, yes.
Oh,
For you.
but how about this?
Oh, for me
For you
specifically.
How about this?
specifically, yeah.
I'm changing
Our
my
face,
answer.
we kind of look the same.
I'm
No.
Yeah.
changing my answer.
Hold on. No. What? We look the same.
A
in
little
what
bit.
capacity? In the sense that we are white and human?
We got the same like skin tone a little bit.
Nope.
I might have like rosy cheeks, but you fucking your skin looks more gray.
What are you talking about? Now you're backed up against the wall. I haven't
I'm
even
not
said
backed up
anything
against the
negative,
wall. I'm backed
but
up
you're
against.
fight-
What do you mean you haven't said anything negative? You said that my eyes would be covered by my face, alluding
Hot
that I have a
dog
fat
face.
face. Yeah, hot dog face, you cunt.
What is negative about that?
Hot dog face. All right.
You have hot dog eyes. Your eyes are surrounded by hot dogs. I don't understand.
They are not.
Okay, you love hot
It's
dogs.
just skin.
You love hot dogs.
I don't love hot dogs.
Yeah, and you've
I don't
routinely-
mind a hot dog.
You love hot dogs.
I would
and
love a
you've
hot dog right now.
and I would too.
One off the grill that's extra like
Fuck
crispy where
me.
it snaps into it.
And you also have
Not far
routinely
enough in to be
spoken.
cursing.
About the padding that surrounds your eyes and
I do
eclipses
have-
the beautiful color. So
I would say my
while I'm
cheeks.
being like, I guess I'm not being positive. I don't believe I'm being.
You know exactly
overtly
what you're
negative.
doing, and also
You do know what you're
arguing this is like such a glimpse into Nicole, your wife's world.
No, it's
where
not,
She has one
because
fucking
actually,
problem, and then you're like,
this-
"Well, actually, what I meant to say."
This
you're
is
like
where-
a lawyer,
This
dude.
is where you're wrong.
I can't
This is
trust
where
you.
wrong.
You're a
You can
mean
yell,
lawyer.
You can yell over what I'm trying to say, but what I'm saying is Nicole lives a peaceful life because of this.
Because she gave up.
I get to take all of my Nicole rage out on Brendan.
I know. We gotta get you a new Brendan. We gotta get you a new Nicole.
Yeah. Well, I'm changing my answer based off of the hot dog eye thing because I thought about Brendan's eyes. I was like, those are. So I'm going with Husky's eyes. Those piercing blue
They're
glacier
mammals.
husky
Those are
eyes.
mammals.
Idiot.
Yeah.
Oh, they said no
No
mammals.
mammal.
No.
Which actually, when you said eagle, I was wrestling with whether or not birds are mammals.
Yeah. When you said horse, I did the same
I
thing.
knew
was-
they weren't.
horse-
I
horse is
second-
a mammal.
I second guessed. Yeah, horse is a mammal. But I second guessed my initial certainty. which
Then you
I
know
always
what?
do.
So what
I'm
do you
going
have?
full Steve Buscemi. I'm going fucking lizard eyes, and just so they
Yeah,
can go in
chameleon
different
eyes?
directions.
I would like some sort of lizard eyes, but not chameleon eyes. Just lizard eyes, because when you go walk around and people could think that's like contact lenses. You know what I mean? Let's bring up.
Oh, you
some-
want like snake eyes?
Snake
like the
eyes.
Slit, the vertical
yeah,
pupil.
snake eyes.
No, I want bug, like insect, like the big. Oh, those are cool.
That's pretty sick.
That's
Oh, really?
cool,
That's
dude.
pretty awesome.
That's
dude.
cool.
Look at that. It looks like a tear in the universe.
Oh my god! Whoa!
A girl that I
Now
went to
that's a
high-
hot dog eye.
I'm not gonna start another sentence. This is like infuriating.
The best part is to anyone listening to this, we're on recording. We're 3 minutes into recording the first of 4 podcasts today, and by the end of it, one of us will be dead.
I already feel like my hand involuntarily balling into a fist.
I just fucking block it. All right, say your thing.
No.
Okay.
Should I move on? Are we done?
I think so. I said lizard eyes. You said chameleon eyes.
And I began to say a lot.
I do want to know your thing though now.
That's okay.
Uh,
Go ahead. Next question.
Tell me on the last episode.
I will. It'll be a callback from in 400 episodes when we're closing shop. I'll be like, by the way, the eyes I would have, gonna knock your dick off.
Yeah.
All right, here's the next question coming from Cole. Here's the scenario. Okay, so you're hardened ex-Marines and you get pulled into a "you son of a bitch, I'm in" type scenario for one last mission. What is your specialty? Example, explosives or throwing knives. And what sort of mundane civilian job are you doing in your retirement when they recruit you? Example, welder or ranch hand. Bonus points if you have a G.I. Joe style code name.
I'm the first one in the door spraying, so my life expectancy is 11 seconds.
Yeah, I would feel like your specialty would be like a flamethrower.
Yeah.
You'd walk in.
I am, dude. When I went to the Middle East and we worked with that captain of the Marines infantry, so that means he's like in the shit and he's running operations and stuff. He was talking specifically about things where they'd like paint a door with some sort of laser and then drones would come in, shoot down the door. First ones would get in and they'd get hit. You'd have to like stand over your friend and just like he was just telling us these
my
stories over
God.
cigars. And Gary Veter and I are just like horrified over all of it.
I
It's
have
like,
jokes about my wife.
dude.
Yeah.
He was talking about it the way I speak about basketball.
Yeah.
Like glory days shit. And I was just like, that's a different type of competition.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Did he ever? Did you ever go? Why did you do that?
I know why he
would've-
did that. He was
that's what
from
I
a
would've-
family of people who served, Marines especially. It's like, I mean, being a
No,
Marine is so It's so like intense because they embrace the shit. Like they're people that are like they actually like how much it sucks to be a Marine. They take great pride.
I could see that.
Yeah, and honestly, I mean, they do jobs that nobody else is willing to do.
I meant that specifically. That would be my first question. I'd be like, what did that guy do?
So you need a backstory.
Yeah,
your
I'd be like, what was the point of that mission? And like, I would love to hear like, oh, that guy.
It's not their job.
You don't get to know that. 95% of the time, they don't know. They're just following orders.
Yeah, you
oh
just
my
take orders.
God, cool.
Yeah, which is weird. Which is why like the armed forces.
That to Germany.
It's why the armed forces are not like they're apolitical or supposed to be. Which is why it's weird when you get certain generals that are speaking out against presidents or whoever, and you're like, oh, this is like such a mishmash of shouldn't be. Like this is not how this country was built or what we were supposed to do with.
Yeah. I would love to see like George Washington or something just brought back and being like, all right, let's go to war, boys, and getting his like musket, and they're like, we got this, man.
Hey, wooden tooth, fuck, get out of here. Although he could make it through airport security pretty easily.
Yeah. I mean, nothing up here.
What about you, Brendan?
I'm thinking throwing knives. I like the idea. Maybe throwing knives or a sniper. I like staying. I want to be away from it, and so I can like mentally get into a place where I didn't just do that. You know what I mean? When you're up close, you're like stabbing. You're like, I'm in this right now. I'm gonna remember this forever. But I could go like, I could be like this, and then be like, oh, how'd that guy just die?
You think you could do a look away snipe? What do you think, Magic Johnson?
No
if it's my specialty, yeah.
What's your G.I. Joe code name?
MCATs.
Here's a standardized test
to be a doctor.
MCATs is a good G.I. Joe.
That used to be my bond, my GoldenEye name. Was MCATs. Yeah, for no reason, nobody ever gave me that nickname. I just thought it was funny to be the doctor test.
It does sound like a cool G.I. Joe name.
Yeah.
I would be Snake Eyes, because my eyes would be lizard snake eyes.
But I think that is a G.I. Joe person, isn't it already?
Yeah,
that's the villain.
It's the villain.
Yeah, so you'd have to pick up something else. Can't be two Snake Eyes.
I'd spell it differently for copyright.
With
purposes.
a Z.
Snake
or
eye.
a dollar sign.
Yeah.
Or $2 signs.
Dollar signs.
Just so it could never come up in any Google search.
Yeah.
Unless you're popular enough, and then it comes up.
Yeah, you'll probably be more popular than the guy from since the 60s who's been named Snake Eyes.
That's some old shit, dude. I'm new in town. I'm the new young cat with the sniper.
A Mulaney special.
Yeah.
I'm new in
You
town.
can't even be original when describing yourself.
Okay, I quit. I'm gonna pull a fucking George Harrison.
A contentious episode.
What would your
well,
retirement job be? Like, what job were you doing in retirement?
I'm Andy Dufresne on a beach rebuilding a boat.
Okay.
Maybe selling board shorts. I don't know.
Board
if
shorts?
If I have to make some
Yeah, you have
money,
to be working.
Then whatever. Yeah, maybe I'm just fixing other people's boats while also
What about
fixing
you?
my boat.
I also want to be on like a beach, but my job is going to be I'm going to be making celebrities out of coconut heads. I'm gonna cut celebrity faces into coconut heads and sell them to tourists when they come for their wedding.
They better all be
honeymoon.
White celebrities, otherwise that's pretty problematic.
Of course, they're going to be white celebrities.
Which is so funny.
I don't want to hate my job.
I'm celebrating them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so funny because right when I first posed the question to Cannon, I wrote down my answers so I wouldn't forget. And by the time it got to me, you guys have taken all of my answers already, which is that I will be a sniper from distance, but not because of, there is a thing of like, once it's looking through a lens, like the camera, it doesn't feel real. And also I just don't want to die. So I'm very happy being the guy who's 100 yards away. And even that, it's like, he's 100 yards away, but where? And people start checking the roofs, and I have like my exit strategy planned, and I'm gonna go down.
Backwards hat on.
I'm like I'm laying there pissing myself because I've been there for 11 hours. You can't even leave. You're just fucking staring down that thing. I would definitely do that. And then I would be, my regular job, civilian job, would be bartender in a beach shack in the Virgin Islands, maybe St. John, and maybe rent out some snorkel gear and stuff like that. And then for a name, I just had to think of something fast. I just went F-Dog.
F-Dog is a good name.
F-Dog. Sounds like a G.I.
I feel like we all should just go to Hawaii or something. Feels like we want to do that.
It's like,
I mean,
multiple
last week
thousands.
you suggested you go to Sweden and you snapped. So I don't know. I don't know if I want to plan a trip. I don't know if I want to plan a trip with
Yeah, you went
This is a
crazy.
New day. Now I feel different.
Okay.
Maybe I want to go to Sweden. Let's go to Sweden. I have a plan to go to Sweden.
That seems
At
like a
the
guy
end
you
of-
want to book a trip far out with who's changed
Yeah.
his mind 36 times since then.
Yeah. And he has a pool of sweat just gathering in that
I
indent.
got it.
It's the water.
All right. This next question comes from Colin. Here's a scenario. When you're trying to sleep, would you rather be hot with blankets you can't take off or be cold but with nothing to cover yourself with? Ooh.
Hot with blank. Oh God, that is.
No, I would rather be cold because I can't fall asleep when I'm hot. I'm like sweating, and then the bed gets hot, and it's just like, at least when you're cold, you can like fetal position, huddle, and just kind of
Yeah.
shiver yourself to sleep. I'd always rather be cold than be hot. I hate being too hot.
I hate being too hot.
I
too.
can't sleep if I'm hot. I could sleep if I'm cold.
I can't do cold. Can't do it. It's just something that ruins every part of my life. Like
Yeah.
if I'm cold in any way, which is often and always, I'm upset. Like what I remember in Nicole living at my in-laws, and they have this big old house, so sometimes it would get drafty, and I'd wake up and it was cold, and I'd get like legitimately violent. Like I'd want to burn the fucking house down. How dare anybody not have the heat on to 105? Like,
Well, to your point, waking up cold is the worst thing
That
ever because
sucks.
your whole day you can't warm up. Like there have been times where like our heat was too low in our apartment and you wake up freezing. I'll like take a hot shower and then you get out of the shower and it's just cold in there. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
being cold sucks. But if my alternative is like waking up being like, and you like smell already and you're dripping sweat.
that's how I'm living anyway, buddy. I live my life a quarter mile at a time. For those 10 seconds or less, I'm
And if you're always sweating and it's cold, you're just going to get
Cold
colder.
sweats. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what
yeah,
about
have you ever
you,
done that?
Sagalow?
Have you ever been like kind of sick, but or just sweating, where you're just in a cocoon of sweat that kind of is manageable at the moment as long as you don't breathe or move, and then you shift your body even a little bit, and you're just now in an ice chamber?
Yeah, that's when I had COVID, when I had the COVID vaccine, and anytime I've ever had the flu, it's been exactly that. We are
Yeah.
like shiver sweating.
Dude, that was me in Philly when I got my second shot right after the show. Is I was in that mode, just wrapped in a sweat, in a sweatsuit, and then like afterwards, driving home, going to my buddy's mother's funeral, and I'm just in my suit, also just shivering with sweat pouring
Oh
down my body.
God, I can't imagine how much you sweat when you're sick.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a sweaty boy at homeostasis.
Yeah. Oh man.
Which one did you pick?
I don't think I picked yet. What was the question?
Cold or hot?
Oh, well, it's hard. I'd rather be cold, but like you said, waking up cold sucks ass.
Waking up hot ain't much better.
No.
But you can shower at
You can
least.
shower after
That's the
that.
thing. Is like waking up.
Hot shower is nice though.
Hot shower is nice.
For sure, but I also think that it's easier to cool down from being hot than it is to warm back up. Like it takes me a lot longer to raise the temperature of my body to a comfortable level and stop feeling the effects of being frozen for 8 hours or however long I was asleep.
Yeah.
I would have agreed with you, but I'm so many times when I used to play basketball in Astoria Park and stuff during the summers when it was like hot outside, and I would come home like with that deep purple hue of like
Yeah.
rosacea from being so hot, and I take an ice cold shower
That
and I
feels
feel
so
the steam
good.
and it feels good, and I get out and my cheeks are still like it takes like a full
That feels
hour
good, though.
for them to cool down.
Have you ever blacked out camping? Like
No.
gotten so drunk you just blacked out and then went and passed out or whatever in your tent. So I did that in summer in 90-degree weather or whatever. We're in Harriman Park. Just, this was me, Nicole, Tim, his girlfriend at the time, B-Tags' wife, girlfriend at the time. So we were all staying there. We had the best time. We're like, knocking over trees or whatever, drinking all this whiskey, smoking, just having a great time. And I don't remember going to bed, but I do remember waking up at like 4 a.m. in the corner of my tent, uncovered by any blanket or pajama. And I was just like rattling in this fucking nook. And I look over and Nicole's like comfortably in a sleeping bag. I'm like on a root and several sharp rocks. And I'm like, this is the worst
hate
experience
camping.
of my life.
Dude, I remember going with my two buddies that I grew up with, and we went, and his dad took us, and then we went to like the tent I was in didn't have the fly part of it, so it was just like a screen like a screen fly. Like there was no windproof one.
Yeah.
And it was like, it was probably in the 70s during the day, but then at night it was like 42 degrees. And that was the coldest I've ever woke up in my life, where I had blankets on and I didn't have like enough of one of those blankets, the sleeping bags that can go into like 20-degree weather. I just had a blanket. And so I'm laying on the cold ground shivering. I woke up and put 2 layers of clothes on and was still not okay. Like I was drinking the coffee, nothing was heating me up, and I was worried that I legit had like hypothermia.
Have you ever screamed yourself warm? Or tried to. I did that the other.
It seems like a very specific to Mike thing.
You ever try to scream at the temperature of your body to get it?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of does get your blood going, to be honest. But the other day, I was at my buddy Brendan's house. I had an early spot in the city, and I was just done on a Saturday night. Super done. Nicole had friends over, so she was hanging, and I didn't have anything to do. So I went to my buddy Brendan's new place in Jersey. Beautiful place. Super pumped for him. But it's one of those like condos that you have to go up like even though it's your place. So it's a 1-building thing. The door opens and it's just up a flight of steps.
Yeah.
And the steps, like that's where the apartment starts. The steps are just like, the whatever to get the fuck out. So that is just a completely different temperature and environment from what it is in the apartment. And so after we were hanging out, watching the Knicks game, smoking, whatever, I go down the steps and I just got hit with the iciest temperature and instantly went into shiver mode because I was also on an edible, so my body temperature just drops. And I'm much more susceptible to cold for whatever reason.
Yeah,
and I get into my car and I'm turning on the heat and I'm like trying to crank everything up, but it's just blasting cold Arctic wind at me. And I'm in my jacket and I literally just was like,
I've done that.
Screamed myself into some sort of blood rushing to where I warmed to a reasonable level.
Yeah, that's like that cold when you were going to high school and you'd get in your car and it was 6 a.m. and
it's the last time Brendan woke up early.
We get it. You got a kid, okay?
I also,
some of us are allowed to wake up at 10.
I didn't say allowed, you dumb idiot.
But
you guys are not gonna make it.
I don't know why we're in a fight, but we're in a fight.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. But fuck my train of thought.
Good.
So
I do like, and this will be the last thing I guess I will say for the rest of the podcast.
This is the deciding. Yeah, this is the laugh.
Brendan has decided this is it.
I'm gay. No, I do like when I'm cold and I grab a bunch of blankets and I get all cozy and I warm myself up that way. That feels better to me than when you're hot and you take a cold shower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the nude warm up, post shower. And with your lady, if you shower with your lady and you're probably going to have sex or you just had sex in the shower and then you kind of dry off, but it's cold. I force Nicole into laying in bed and cuddling nude.
I love that.
Yeah,
I love
nice.
the after the shower, the leg over you, the cuddling in the blanket. Send us Snuggies. I think that's what we want.
There is a hoodie Snuggie, I believe. I don't know if it's the same brand.
Yeah.
But it's like a full plush soft blanket that is an oversized hoodie that you can wear, and it looks like
an oogle or something.
It's sponsored by depression, but it looks fucking awesome.
I got my sister that for Christmas. It's called like an oobie or an oogle or something like that.
I want one of those. Send us, Nicole. What's the address here so we can get people to start sending us gifts?
123 Fake Street.
Yeah, they can just send it to the Comedy Cellar and address it to us.
Yeah, care of Da Boys.
Send it to the Comedy Cellar. Care of Lenny Marcus.
Definitely put.
Yeah, Da Boys is hilarious.
Yeah, Ryan Long or any of the other 11 people with those boys' name in their podcast gets it.
Yeah.
Another one from Colin. This one is more for Feeney and Sagalow, but would you rather lose your ability to type and text or never win another video game? Now, I'm saying I'd rather never win another video game because then that's a whole angle on streaming. I'm the lovable loser that will somehow find a way to lose every single time.
Yeah.
Impressive fashion how I will suddenly lose at the end when you think I'm going to win. And then people will go like, no, come on, he's going to fucking win this time. I guarantee.
Yeah, you can get a lot of viewers.
You got a 40-point lead. How could you possibly? And
there must be a lot of people like that, though, where people watch to see how bad they are.
Yeah.
That must be a lot of
you got to be really great at video games, really bad at video games, or really entertaining.
Or really hot.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, there's so
Yeah, if
many
you're willing
people
to
on-
sit in a kid's baby pool in your living room in a bikini and play whatever you want, people are watching.
Look,
I'll do that.
yeah, I'm not opposed to that. Are you
sounds
kidding?
easy.
Is that gonna go up on the Patreon?
That's like there's like the chick that gets millions of dollars a year from doing
Oh
that.
yeah,
Comedians in pools playing
yeah.
soccer.
Kim
Play-
Congdon just
playing
put a
FIFA.
picture up of that, of like a
Of
chick
her in a-
doing that. No, of like, she was like, this is why I can't
You're
get
the
female-
thirsty
I was like,
son of a
what?
of
Yeah.
her in a bikini.
Oh my god, Siri, look this up.
Siri, show me my dreams.
Siri, show me Kim. I'm way ahead of you, Brendan. I heard it too.
Brendan Siri is a white trash piece of shit. Too.
Yeah, I heard it too, Brendan. Give me a sec.
That's like the Google. That's like the Google Pixel or whatever. Like that phone. I think we may have talked about this on the pod, but I watched a commercial for that phone and I was just like, oh, that's what the iPhone wants to be. Like it just curates itself to your needs, basically is listening and watching
Yeah.
everything that you do and how you use your phone. And it changes based on your behavior. And it's also like, it's super intuitive. It's got AI, it's got your calendar, all those things. And it's all just in this little thing. And I was like, at the same time, I was like, ooh, I both need that and never want it.
I
don't want
fear it.
that.
I for
Yeah.
sure fear that.
Fear it.
I fear it.
You turn on you do a couple sets, one doesn't go well, then your background changes to just quit, and you're like, oh,
Yeah,
wait, what?
your phone starts sending you job applications.
Yeah, they're like barista in Seattle. I don't what? And it's like all of a sudden Zillow ads come up. Now, this is one more from Colin. Would you rather? This is a good one. Would you rather have Lego blocks scattered on the floor of every room you enter, or get a static shock from every doorknob you touch? And I gotta tell you, I fucking hate the static
I
shock
hate
so
the
much.
static shock.
I'd rather fucking Mission Impossible into a Lego block room, plus, sneakers.
Build the Legos.
Then there's you have a toy, but that static shock both scares you. There's that 2-month run of January through, I guess, through March, where you go to touch it. Every time you touch it, you're like, is it gonna?
It's the coolest thing, and it's never cool.
You
It's cool
shot,
that you can make electricity, but it's always like, fuck.
and then you're like, I used to like pet my cat, and it would shock them, and they thought they were being punished. It's like,
Do you know what that is? I forget exactly, and I think I'm right. But I think you have like one less
Like,
electron.
why?
You have one less electron, and the knob has an extra, and you're transferring electrons to make yourselves right. Like that's what it is.
What?
That's what static electricity.
Whoa.
When you transfer.
That's
the
so
energy like
cool.
that. Yeah, isn't it? It's wild. But both of those are my actual life. Like I am the most conductive human on
That's
earth.
hilarious. Yeah.
Dude, the other day I scared crew by accident because I touched a knob and go, like it hurt. It was an actual like bolt that hit
Yeah.
the tip of my finger. And Nicole's like, "You good?" And I was like, "Did you see that?" It was that was ridiculous. And then also Legos are just all over the place, and I'm constantly very close to rupturing my Achilles.
Yeah. I can't imagine how painful getting hit by lightning is. That might be ridiculous to say, but like even that little shock we're like, ow, that fucking hurt.
There's
Now-
people that survive it several times.
I know, and then they have cool new tattoos.
What do you mean? Oh, the tiger stripes or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, the tiger- yeah, they have stripe marks.
Yeah. What are you laughing at?
I'm laughing about the next question.
I'm going.
it's crazy. Go ahead.
Is it crazy where maybe you shouldn't say it on an episode where there's this weird contention for no
Oh
reason?
no, it's not going to pin anybody.
Okay,
it's not
good,
like that.
good.
Yeah.
I'm going.
Skip it.
Yeah.
I mean, believe me, it's still ripe for the picking. But
All right, I'm going Legos, and I think we should convoy.
Convoy. All right.
I didn't agree to that.
I knew you were going to say
talking
that.
about?
I knew the way I worded that. I was like, great. It's gonna, and I think
Here comes a thing. Now, this next question comes from Northern Nature Guy, who has some just absolutely beautiful pictures.
Oh, he lives in Alaska, I
nature.
think. He's been listening back since Rabbit Hole. I think he lives in a
Like,
bus.
so many pictures of
Whoa,
swans.
guy loves swans.
Swan
No,
Lake.
wrong guy. Sorry.
So,
There are no swans
Here's a
in
scenario.
Alaska.
would you rather your daughter married a capital W, wigger
Mm.
who never breaks character, or a guy who consistently gets drunk and drops the N-bomb at a family get-together. Please note, you cannot punch the guy to make him stop his behavior. So this question basically is, would you rather your daughter married Brendan Sagalow or Brendan Sagalow?
I was thinking Chet Hanks or Kumia.
Yeah, I'm going Chet Hanks on that. I mean, yeah, I don't mind the
Malibu's Most Wanted guy?
Yeah, I mean, it's hilarious. You could be like, you could really.
But wouldn't that say
That guy
something
did- that-
about your daughter? If your daughter is
Yeah.
I
into
would-
that?
I mean, it's part of me though.
It would make
Yeah.
me sad that
I've got-
I like.
He's not a bad guy.
I've got some
you know,
I got some real particle of wigger in me, so I'm
Not
sure that
hurting anybody.
No, I'm sure
Yeah,
that
you would
she
have
was-
to. Well, the culture.
I don't know. I don't think the Sagalow household is really doing much for any culture. I think he'd fit right in.
All right. Yeah, I think you gotta go with that.
Every sentence I start, you guys are like jumping all over it. It's insane. Maybe I'm just noticing it more this week, but
It's every week.
I have
Yeah.
not been able to get a fucking thought out this entire time.
We do that every week, but there might be some underlying thing.
Maybe
I don't know.
I'm just bothered.
That's
by it.
usually the answer. Yeah.
So I think we got a convoy on that though, because you don't want a guy who just gets drunk is dropping the N-bomb at
No.
family get-togethers.
No, I have my
Come on.
uncles for that.
Yeah. I have me for that.
Although Malibu's Most Wanted dude might do that as well. But like,
Usually, though, I find that people that are of the wigger persuasion, they are more respectful of the culture than they are trying to exploit it.
Yeah.
So there's obviously people that are like dipshits, but we're talking like, you know, a Marshall Mathers type who grew up in the culture or within it
Yeah.
and has a reverence for it. And that's why it became part of his personality, not a fucking Jamie Kennedy who, you know, in that movie who
Yeah.
grew up rich and then just put that on.
Yeah, if I want a son-in-law who's slightly wiggerish, I would want him to be more of like the conscious rap than like, you know, long jerseys
yeah, you're
and
hoping
everything.
he's
I'm
turned
hoping
into
he
logic.
comes in.
You want
Yeah.
Common more than 6ix9ine.
Yes, exactly. I want Gangstar and not I don't know anybody else. Nelly. I would even take Nelly. Nelly was great.
Nelly, which I just spoke to about with somebody. Oh, Akash.
What'd he say?
Because he had Michael Irving on his podcast.
Yeah.
And I asked him if he asked this specific question because I always found this really interesting. Michael Irving was in The Longest Yard, the remake, and they asked him. They were like, "Who?" I think it was like pretty far after his career, but he's in great shape. He's still moving really great, and he looks awesome on camera. And they were asking him like, "Did it get competitive on set? Was there anybody that surprised you?" That was an athlete on set, and he said, and I quote, I'm memorizing this from like 14 years ago. He said the best athlete on set was Nelly.
Oh, I
Best
believe
athlete.
that.
He got drafted as a second rounder by the St. Louis Cardinals.
Whoa.
And he like didn't even, which nobody ever.
What did he play infield?
I think he played
Isn't
shortstop.
Yeah, I was gonna say second base or shortstop. He's
Yeah.
like he's always looked like a good athlete.
Yeah, and now he's just juicing his gills off.
Is
so
he?
He's like a fucking Ninja Turtle. But he if you watch him in that movie, the way he moves, you're like, this guy is elite in the way
Right.
his body works.
Yeah.
I really need to know why Nelly kind of disappeared for all those years.
He raped someone.
What?
Did he?
Or there was, I mean, I don't know if he did. Alleged. But yeah, there was like a court case about a violent rape.
Oh,
I didn't hear of that.
Yeah.
That sucks.
what
No,
a
it doesn't
world.
suck because our Patreon. Get on there, patreon.com/scenario
Yeah.
pod, where you rape us by getting all this content for only $5. So,
Right.
get on the
Great. Good
Patreon.
deal.
We say no.
We have so much stuff a week. Also, subscribe and follow this podcast. Leave a 5-star review. Tell your friends about it. This is the free one we put out. Like I said, just a little taste. So if you're enjoying the infighting and Mike's frustration and not being able to get a word in edgewise,
This isn't a different episode.
this is one of many.
The same thing every week.
So you guys can also go to here'sthescenario.com. That's where everything Here's a Scenario is, where you can find all that stuff. And you can find all of our social channels on there as well. And come see us live coming up soon. Who wants to go first? Anybody have dates ready?
MikeCannonComedy.com for all of my tour dates. December 10th and 11th, I will be, Jesus Christ, December 10th and 11th, I just saw news that I truly can't believe, but December 10th and 11th, I'll be in Wilmington, North Carolina at the Dead Crow Comedy Room. Sag Daddy Da God is coming with 4 shows, 2 on Friday, 2 on Saturday. Tickets are moving. We're out here. We're selling a few tickets, so come out, get tickets. Let's sell this out. And then also January 6th through the 8th, I'll be in Austin, Texas at the Creek in the Cave. KP Burke is actually going to be down there and opening for me during that. And then January 21st and the 22nd, I'll be in Boston, Massachusetts at the Hideout Comedy. Then after Seattle, we got the Celtic Cruise. I'll be at Comics Mohegan Sun. Dates are pouring in. I'm getting a date for Side Splitters again early next year. So all over the map, MikeCannonComedy.com. And then subscribe to the YouTube, Mike Cannon Comedy. I got my old special there, Life Begins, which now I think is going to start to be seen on several streaming platforms, which is very exciting. And I'm filming my next one in February. We got a hold on the date. It looks like it's all going to come together.
Nice.
And that will be out sometime next year, likely on the YouTube. So youtube.com/Mike Cannon Comedy. Subscribe, support. It's free.
Hell yeah.
Go to MikeFeeneyComedy.com. If you're on the other side of the country, December 10th and 11th, come to Laughs in Seattle, headlining 4 shows out there. That's going to be great. First time back in Seattle since 2017. So I'm very excited. People have already been tweeting at me, taking pictures of their pictures of their tickets and all that, which is great. I'm excited about that. Come out. The 16th, December, I'll be at Uncle Vinny's doing New Year's, the 30th through the 1st at Mohegan Sun. And then I'm in Boston, Laughs Boston on January 20th, which is going to be great. First time doing comedy in Boston. You can go to youtube.com/Mike Feeney Comedy and watch Snarky, which we put out a new episode every single week, edited by the incredible Nicole Lyons. And we do a bonus part for the Patreon. And you can also watch my special, Rage Against the Routine. But just come to Laughs or Laugh Boston and twitch.tv/NYFreshmaker. I think I'm on like a 5-day streaming streak where it just happened to be that I've gotten home early enough to do it. So very excited about that. That's a fun little community we're building there. So get on that. Yeah.
Same thing. Follow me on Twitch. We usually play together. We're playing Far Cry. We're playing Halo. Everything's good. I got no road dates besides the North Carolina coming up.
10th and 11th.
So
come out.
All you could do is just support me by following me on Twitch. Subscribe to my YouTube. My special is on there. Listen to my album. It's one of the ones that have not been taken off of Spotify. One of the comedy albums that are getting taken off Spotify.
They didn't even notice it. That's how under
they went, is this a comedy album? And they're like, no, we'll keep it out.
Yeah, that's what I was saying yesterday when we were at the Gas Digital. I was like, I couldn't be happier I didn't ever plug Spotify as a fucking way to consume my album because it is going away.
Yeah, so
which is cool of them, right? Because they realized that they were just breaking with not paying us.
Did you just download Spotify?
Downloading it to see if mine is up there, but like what a sack of shit organization where it's like if you're Rogan or somebody like that's a comedian and you stand for comics, probably should maybe speak out against that a little bit, where you're like, hey, maybe instead of taking them off, pay these people, pay that man his money.
Yeah, I don't know the details. It might be on the comic. They might be like, take it down.
No, it's not. They've taken it down. We got the email from our label, or at least I did, that said they are proactively taking it down because right now there's like a new thing in comedy where we are all of a sudden people and we have copyright to our art or our work. And so that is now a second thing that musicians have been paid for forever. And that damn it, I forget CMI or something like that. One of those things that's like the copyright thing for musicians, and they're the ones that go after those funds and get it from these streaming platforms, et cetera, et cetera. And that's now a thing with comedy because we write original works. We are writers. We should be paid on top of what we're being paid. And so instead of settling and paying, Spotify's like, we'll take our ball and go home.
Yep.
Motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Nicole?
What's up?
Anything to plug?
My Instagram's Nicole C. Lyons. That is all.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, my albums are off.
They are?
Yep.
Whoa.
So let's go to some more questions from you, the listener. Robert Prather. Oh, am I not supposed to be saying last names? Don't have your last name on your Instagram.
If you don't want your last name said, just please tell us.
Stop dressing that way.
Here's a scenario. If you had to go through a devastating natural disaster once a year, no matter what, which one would
Natural
you pick
disaster.
and why? Fires, earthquakes, tornado, sub-zero blizzard, tsunami, hurricane, flood.
Blizzard.
No, blizzard. Ooh, that's scary. Blizzard's fucking. All the power goes off. You lose heat. You have to huddle together for warmth. You don't know when you're gonna get out of there. There's a limited supply of food. I'm picking earthquake, baby. Just fucking.
Earthquake could shake, but a crazy earthquake can ruin everything.
It's like being in one of those motel beds. You put a fucking dollar in.
Yeah, it's
Shake.
a massage.
Yeah, but we've all been through blizzards. Like we've lived through that natural disaster. So why?
But this
why
is
would
a
it be
devastating natural disaster. So it's going to be
blizzard
like
at 96, right? Wasn't that 3.5, 4 feet? That was a ton of snow. That was
yeah, but I think this would
Yeah,
have
that
to be
was
like
fun.
this would have to be like snow over your window. Like
Where you
know,
like
it'd
open
be like
the
10
door
feet
and
of
you
snow.
see like the print of the
Yeah.
door
so
right
you
there.
can't get out, can't get food.
Yeah.
All
I mean,
that shit.
fires has got to be out right away because
Fires
that's
is gone.
terrifying.
Because if there's enough fires, you're gonna get.
You
burnt.
think you're in a hellscape. It's just the whole sky is orange and
doesn't look
black.
good.
I mean, tornado probably does the least amount of damage of all of these things because it has to be directly in the tornado's like path, where a hurricane can be like a mile long and an earthquake can fuck up something like 500 miles, and like tsunami, wall of water crushing everything in its way, and a flood could kind of is pretty much the same as the tsunami and stuff. So tornado is probably the least devastating.
But it's still devastating.
But it only happens where
they're
the planes
saying
are.
it hits you. They're saying it hits you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
you're,
I
you're
would
getting
love.
affected.
I would love to go in a little fallout shelter and fucking hide from that, and then come out of it when you're in the eye of it and be like, whoa, and then kind of go back down.
The
And then once you
minute-
see it going away and just seeing that
Oh, tornado,
leave is
big-
pretty cool.
yeah.
Seeing a tornado leaving is got to be the coolest of all these to watch.
Yeah, and then you could I guess you could rebuild, but geez, that's devastating. I for some reason thought you said like a nuclear, bomb dropping or something where you're in a,
Never.
yeah,
Nuclear.
that would be great. Because the minute you step outside, you're just radiation poisoning,
Yeah.
But yeah, tornado, I guess, but I don't want to lose my shit.
Well, you're going to lose your shit.
I'd rather
Seems
be
like-
inside, create a fire. You have a fireplace that's cozy. You could
Cool.
just sit there and really enjoy each other.
I will say this though, I don't know how to put out that fire. So there are times that I've just like left my house and made peace with all of my stuff
That's-
being burned.
That's
can't.
crazy.
Yeah.
Can't.
That's crazy.
I don't know why you put the kid next to the fire. when
He
you
was
leave.
watching it.
Yeah.
The crew
You
put
just
that
put
up.
the poker in his hand. You go, you got it, right?
You got it. Finish this up.
He's just
Move it down
he's just
to open.
teething on the poker.
Yeah. You see it through his teeth.
Okay, here we go. Monte Cristoso. says,
Whoa.
first of all, I don't
Cool
remember
name.
Brendan being in the WWE, and he's got just a giant
And then he
wrestler.
sent the thing. Yeah, that's
it's-
funny.
It's hurtful. But
Is that hurtful?
anyway, well, he
This
put
guy's
a
huge.
crying laugh. Yeah.
Oh, I know what he meant. He meant it to be hurtful, but I'm going to take it as a compliment. I'm going to say those guys are huge and they have jobs.
What a fun, dishonest way to filter the world.
Why is that dishonest? You know what?
'Cause,
You're right.
well,
It is
you
dishonest
just
because I
said,
know he means to
yeah.
insult me. So fuck you.
I don't think so, though. I think it's a lovable insult.
Yeah. I don't-
And also, wrestlers are still strong.
Yeah, dude. I'd love to be like Brock Lesnar or somebody.
Or Bam Bam Bigelow, who from appearance looked like a fat fuck, but he was
Oh.
strong as shit.
Poor
I'd even
Bam
be that
Bam.
midget.
He was excellent in major pain.
He was
I love when
incredibly
wrestlers are in
athletic.
movies.
Did you know Bam Bam Bigelow's like he would do a like backward somersault
Yeah.
from the top rope.
Pretty cool.
He was like
Whoa.
350
Super
pounds.
He was
Oh.
also
crazy.
in Boy Meets World
He
Was
was,
it?
yeah, in the wrestling episodes.
Yep. Yep.
Episode.
episode.
Erica. No, I think
as
Erica
the
might
father
have,
of Frankie,
I think Erica has
Yeah.
his autograph.
who's now
Ethan
thin.
Suplee.
Yeah, who's now thin.
Yeah. But anyway, here's a
What a 6
scenario.
degrees of who gives a shit.
Yeah.
Now this I love. If you guys were professional wrestlers, what would your entrance music and signature move be?
Now, we have done this before, but I think it's one of those questions that is always fun to answer.
Because we'll never answer it the
We'll
same
never
way
answer
twice.
it the same.
I'm pulling up the song, so go ahead.
My entrance song is going to be Bitches Ain't Shit by Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg.
Mhm.
And my move, so the move is hard. I'm
gonna do this while you're thinking.
Okay.
I'm gonna come out to just the breakdown part of Metallica's One. And then I'm gonna
Yeah.
be my whole thing is I'm gonna be like the mad drummer or something like that, where my move, I'll come out with drumsticks. I'll come out and my finishing move is I just, without, they'll take the drumsticks away and then I'll just like, bang on the top of some guy until like I'll put him in the corner and just go like and just play, and then he starts going down on the rope and then I just start banging on the top of his head even more until he's like out cold and they have to pull me off him and I have blood on my hands.
Or
and
another thing you could do
happened.
is have those two cymbals in your hands, and when he's like on the ground, like fucking KO'd, you just go like this, quang, on his.
But I'm not in.
Quang.
I'm not.
Quang.
Yeah. But that's what I would do. I would do like I'd be like a heavy metal like drummer guy. That would be my thing.
I think with the intro song and that's good. It has to sound good. Like I picture two wrestlers going at it, and one's about to win, and then you just hear, "Bitches ain't shit but hoes and everybody goes and then I walk out.
I mean, the best entrance music of all time. It's a tie between Stone Cold Steve Austin because it starts with shattering glass, and the sound of like no matter what's happening, and then the people would start grabbing each other and shaking. They would go insane. Or
that's like how the old YKWd theme song used to be. Like that, like real hard rock.
So it's a tie for that, and the other one is The Undertaker's, which is slow and boom, but all the lights in the entire arena turn off. So when people are wrestling, and all of a sudden it goes pitch black, and then dong, people go crazy because now they're like, "Where is he?" And then they'll turn the lights on, and he just like does a 4-minute walk out to the thing. Like he doesn't run ever. He fucking walks like Michael Myers because he's coming.
That's
for you.
so cool, man.
So I can't pull up the song, but I had this song that I found the other day for one of my stories, and it was like, I'm gay, I'm gay, I'm gay.
Yeah.
I think that would be a really funny intro song, and then my move would be the power bottom. So the guy would be laying down just all fucked up on the ground, and then I'd get up on the third rope, point to the entire crowd, and then like pike jump reverse though, like jump backwards, kick my feet up, and then I'll then spread them and land ass on dick. Like,
that's
just
awesome.
Straight up on dick. And the guy would be like, and go down, and then and he came from the power bottom. And then my pin would just be like, I'd put an arm up here, and then I'd fake blow them while they were counting to 3.
This is a very
I
different
don't think
wrestling
there needs to be a
experience.
styled pin, but
There it
that's
is. Well,
there is a style. There's definitely a styled pin.
The Undertaker did that, and then just put a hand on it.
He would cross his hand like this.
I'm just saying, I'm really thinking this through.
Yeah.
So
Smart.
I'm just saying, I have a lot of different moves.
Did you ever see videos of when The Rock got Stone Cold stunnered?
No.
It's maybe Nicole. If there's a way to pull up,
Can we please look that up?
It's one of the best acting performances, first of all, of The Rock's life.
Yeah.
But the way he he
literally there's
funny,
there's like
man.
a compilation of them, but Nicole, you got to pull up some of The Rock's like more overact. There's one where because when you get Stone Cold stunnered, the Stone Cold's landing on his butt, and the person who's getting stunnered is landing on their knees, and usually they just flop backwards. But The Rock, and granted to his athleticism, would explode the other way. And there's one that he does in particular where he explodes back so far that his legs hit the top rope and dangle off of them.
It's
and
like snakes out of a can.
Yeah,
That's how
it
much
was okay. Here's some. Let's see this here. Every Stone Cold stunner to The Rock. I mean, okay, this is already
Can
gonna
you
be
send me this
2
direct
minutes?
link also?
Yeah.
This is
I'm
gonna be
watch
great.
this
Hit it.
forever.
And then boom. So that's in the beginning when he was nice and easy.
Okay.
And then watch. And then
Oh, wow. Cool.
and then bam. So look, he just drops down there. This is the genesis
That's
of it.
great.
And now see him launch himself up off of it, and then here he comes again.
Oh,
Bam! And then look, he's flopping back and forth like a fish.
He also
Doink, and then there he goes, up and at him. I mean, look at
up his knees.
It is the best. Old wrestling like this is just the is just the greatest, man. And he didn't even kick him that time. He missed him entirely.
All is forgiven. I'm now in a great mood.
I mean, it's the best. I think there was one where he flew out of the ring, but anyway, we can cut it off there.
They should
But
have a podcast
the
together.
best.
I really want to
Cold
see
has a
them.
podcast.
Stone Cold has a great podcast.
Yeah.
I want to
And
see
he
them work
constantly
together
talks
again.
about
The Rock.
like he talks about just every match and like here's what we were thinking. He tells one about where he was with Yokozuna, who was like
I just saw
a
that.
600-pound. That was his move. He would just sit
That was
on
on
you.
Hot Ones.
What?
I just watched Stone Cold on Hot Ones. And he,
Oh yeah, does he
he's
tell where he shit himself?
Yeah, he shit himself, and he's like, "All right, man, let's bring it home."
He's like Zuna, let's go home. Yeah,
Good.
He
Yeah.
should have drank the milk on Hot Ones by smashing 2 glasses together and pouring it on his head.
He looked legitimately worried that he was gonna have a heart attack. Like he kept saying, like, "Man, my heart rate's at 130." Like he was
Yeah.
just like
Whoa.
he could count it while talking. Like he was literally counting his heart rate. That is somebody who was abused, like drugs,
Oh my
supplements.
God.
I mean,
Like,
he looked like a rhino in some of
Yeah.
those videos.
I got
anybody whose traps are at their ear is on a
Yeah.
substantial amount of D-ball.
Good for him.
I think a cool move. I want to change up my personality of my wrestler. I want him to be like a Scrooge McDuck kind of thing. Like I know that there's like
you got to be a heel.
You put coins
$1 million
on the ring and then dive into it.
yeah, or
Just
I
shatter
have
your neck.
I have a like a sack with a money sign on it filled with gold coins, and I just bang.
Well, that was like the
Knock
$1 Million
him out.
Man, Ted DiBiase. That was
Yes,
his whole.
that was
thing.
what I was gonna say. But I also want to have like a tuxedo on with like the flappy ends.
Oh,
You're literally
Beethoven.
describing Ted DiBiase. He used
What?
to wear the bow tie and a
Kinda
really
looks
nice.
like him too.
Damn.
Can you put a picture?
I really
if you
wanted
could grow
that
a
to be
beard,
the
$1 million
if you
original
grew a
thing.
beard, it would be.
If he's who I'm thinking of, it kind of looks like Sagalow meets Tommy whatever for Tommy Gunn from Rocky 5.
yeah,
That's exactly who I was describing. Yeah. That's so funny.
Wow,
That's
that
who I
even
wanna
dyed
be.
his hair blonde.
Yeah,
Yeah.
is you with a beard.
Wow.
Cool.
Holy shit,
I got into
so
the
much
wrong
yeah.
thing.
Yeah. All right. I think we got time for what? We got one more, Nicole?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. One more. This is from Trumbull. And don't forget, send us questions on our Instagram. Here's a scenario pod.
Well, and here's the scenario.com has all that stuff. It's got
Yeah.
the Patreon, the social, us individually, everything. Go there for anything you need for the podcast.
Trumbull, a scenario walks into a podcast. You have a fantastic new agent, and he's convinced you to become a puppet act. You're booked for the next year, making great money. What's your dummy's name and persona? And is there a catchphrase?
Yeah.
Well, so the one thing that I've wanted to see, which there's probably a reason why nobody does it. I'm assuming it doesn't work, but I want to see the person say the awful racist shit, and the dummy be the like, hey,
the
man.
puppet's like,
What the hell?
Yeah, what's your deal?
That was a good puppet.
That was a good puppet.
Yeah.
yeah, dude.
I mean, you are a marionette.
You are.
doll, for
All
sure.
you gotta do is put those little lines right here.
You ever
If
see
he just does-
you ever see the Jim Carrey? What is it?
Yeah.
In like Fun with Dick and Jane, where he pretends to be a marionette thing,
He's
and he's like
unreal at it,
dancing.
yeah.
It's the greatest thing I've ever seen. Pull that up.
He's like he's jointless.
Yeah.
He's the best, man.
Yeah. I would. Let's see. What was the thing that we
That's
gotta
a
come up with?
great idea, actually.
Puppet act? Yeah.
That's a really good idea.
You be the incredible racist,
But there
and then
must-
they have to be.
There must be one. There must
voice of
be a
reason.
person that does it, or two. There must be a reason nobody does it. Because I think the reason why the puppet says the awful shit is because it's not a human being,
Right.
And then you are whatever. But
Yeah.
even Otto and George, like, there's stories of somebody stabbed the puppet while he was doing his act. Like he was just saying such crazy heinous shit that somebody walked up and literally stabbed the puppet.
Did he stab his hand?
Yeah.
I guess he missed or something, but like,
Oh my
yeah,
God.
stabbed the puppet, which is fucking nuts.
That's hilarious. You'd be like, I mean, that's nuts. I probably lost my.
It would be a
train of
funny thing for a puppet if you built the puppet in such a way where instead of being like up the back of the puppet and doing this, you had your whole arm in the puppet. It would be like a snake puppet where my whole act is that it's currently eating me, and so like slowly over the course of my
thought.
act.
Talk at all.
So when I get to here, my hour's done. As it starts here, and then every once in a while he's like, I'm getting pretty full, but gonna keep going, whatever.
Yeah, that's
and then he
funny.
just keeps going all the way up my arm. And then when I get here, I'm like, I gotta get an amputation. Bye, everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the catchphrase would be like, he's never full or something, something.
I want to do a puppet where the puppet is just like I have real hatred for this puppet. I just it's like a puppet that does everything we hate.
Mhm.
You know, like the small little things that you're like, why would someone do that? And the puppet's like, no, I like puppet trying to defend, you know, like being really close to a car when you're driving, when you're like, fuck, give me room, man. Why are you on my ass? And the puppet would be like, well, I want to really hate this puppet.
Sure.
So he embodies
And my
us.
yeah,
What's your catchphrase?
the catchphrase would be, here's the scenario. And the name of the puppet would be Mike Feeney. I don't know.
The mics.
The mics. 2 puppets.
All right, everybody. Well, did you answer? You answered.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the racist one. That's the show,
The
everyone.
one, the one
racist
where I
one.
get to be right.
That's the show, everybody. Thank you for watching, and we appreciate you. Again, you know, and also watch it on YouTube, too. You can listen to it anywhere you listen to podcasts. Watch it on YouTube.
I think you get more out of the viewing experience.
Yeah, throw a little comment for the algo and give it a thumbs up. Share with some friends.
And there's also less than 4,000 advertisements.
Yes,
On
there's
YouTube, so-
someone say
Yeah.
almost none.
It's
So-
mostly show.
yeah, I don't even think we can monetize the YouTube yet. So right now, you're